In this video, I'll be going over estimated decimal sums. Here's an example. 24.5 plus 9.1. When we are estimating decimal sums, we want to round both decimals to the nearest whole number. And the sign that we use here is an approximation. It's not an equal sign because equal sign would be the exact answer, whereas this sign means that it's approximate. So the purpose of the exercise is to find the approximate whole number for the two decimals. So for first number, 4, we want to look to the number on the right. 5 or more, raise the score. So we're raising the 4 by 1, it becomes 5. As the 5 rounded up, it becomes 0. And we would bring down the 2. So the whole number for the first decimal is 25. For the second decimal, we are looking at 9 and for the number to the right. In this case, 1. 4 or less, let it rest. So 1 would turn to 0 and we would do nothing with the 9 as we're letting it rest. So now we have 25 plus 9. And 25 plus 9 is 34. So our approximation is 34. Now, if we actually take 24.5 plus 9.1, the answer we have is 33.6. That's an exact answer, whereas our approximate is 34. So you can see that it's actually very close, only off by about 0.4. Now for the second example, we have 125.62 plus 22.43. Now if you are pretty familiar with this, you can go ahead and pause the video, work on the problem, and then play to see the answer. So we're rounding 5 or more, raise the score. 4 or less, let it rest. So we're not doing anything here, we're letting it rest. 126 plus 22. And what we end up with is 148. And if we actually input this in a calculator, we would get 148.05. So this one is really close. We're basically just 0.05 away from the actual answer. But again, what we're looking for is the estimate. So the answer would be 148. Let's try this one. 22.62 plus 13.25. Rounding to the whole number. This will become 23 as we are rounding up. 2, we will let it rest. 23 plus 13 is 36. So 36 is our estimate for this one. The actual answer was 35.87. So this one we're also very close, only about 0.13 away from the actual answer. Now we're gonna work on one last example before we get to the quiz problem. 34.55 plus 26.25. Here, also rounding. 5, we would round up. And 2, we will let it rest. So we end with 35 plus 26. And that equals 61. So our approximate is 61. And if we actually calculate the real answer is 60.8. So we're 0.2 away in this case. And now we're getting to the quiz problem. For the quiz problem, I don't need the actual answer, just the approximate that you get. So this quiz problem is 56.45 plus 17.58. And I need the approximate answer. So feel free to pause the video, work on this, and play the video when you are ready to see the answer, and I'll be back in about 10 seconds. Okay, I'm back. So hopefully you rounded the numbers and you left this as it is. You let it rest due to the 4, and you rounded up because of the 5, and you end with 56 plus 18, and you've gotten the answer of 74. And if you've gotten 74 as the answer, great job, you've mastered this lesson. If not, feel free to go back to the previous examples and see where you made the mistake. So getting the estimate decimal sums means that you are rounding to the nearest whole number, and using the rounding rule of 4 or less, let it rest, 5 or more, raise the score. Then add the two numbers together to get the estimated sum. Remember, we're not trying to get the actual answer, but the approximate, which is why we use the approximate sign in place of the equal sign. We also have a video on adding decimals, and this video will actually add the decimal and get the real answer rather than the approximate answer. So if you are interested in finding out how to do so, this video is available at the end of this clip. Hopefully this video is helpful to you, and thank you for watching.